Tak ada recording pula ni, Masya Allah. Sekejap lah. Oh, ada. Ada. Sekejap ya. Kita dah buka.
Dah, madam.
Saya nak record sekejap. Lupa. Okay. So, semua boleh nampak skrin saya
Boleh. Nampak.
Okay, so Python function. So, Assalamualaikum kelas.
Waalaikumsalam, madam.
Salam.
How are you today? How are you today?
Okay.
Fine, madam. How are you, madam?
I feel like so busy for this Monday, this week. Let's start with Monday pagi ni. I quite busy. So saya rasa pun penat. Penat. So ni masa tu yang jadi lambat sikit tu. Okay, so I hope I can finish until 20 topics with you all today. So next week kalau tak ada lagi new notes, kita akan masuk some application. Saya akan tunjuk satu application using Python, okay? Alright, for today's Python function, a function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. Saya rasa dalam in any programming language also have function. So you can pass data known as parameter into a function. So a function can return data as a result. So creating a function. So in Python, a function is defined using def keyword. Def my function, you create my function. So print hello from a function. Okay, for example here, calling a function. To call a function, use the function name followed by parentheses. Okay, example, you have def my function, print hello from a function, and then you call my function. When you call my function, then you run, it will give you output hello from a function. So arguments. Information can be passed into function as arguments. Arguments are specified after the function name inside the parentheses. So you can add as many arguments as you want. Just separate them with a comma. The following example has a function with one argument. Okay, example here is fname. When the function is called, we pass along a first name which is used inside the function to print the full name. Example, you have def my function fname. Okay, the argument print fname plus references. Okay, so kat sini you ada my function Emil, my function Tobias, my function Linus. Okay, references ni nama dia lah. Nama pun susah sangat contoh ni kan. Alright, okay. So when you run, you can get Emil reference, Tobias reference, Linus reference. Okay. So you call the function and then you add what is the value for that argument. Argument are often shortened to arg. Okay, arg in Python documentation. You can put argument or arg. It's an argument. It's an argument. So the term parameters and argument can be used for the same things. Information that are passed into a function. From a function perspective, a parameter is a variable listed inside the parentheses in the function definition, and argument is the value that is sent to the function when it is called. So number of argument, by default, a function must be called with the correct number of argument, meaning that if your function expects 2 argument, you have to call the function with 2 argument, not more or not less. Example here. This function expects 2 argument and gets 2 argument. Okay, so you have def my function fname lname. So first name, last name. So print first name and then you put some white space and last name. So my function Emil. Okay, you have to argument here, F name, last name, and then Emil, refness. Okay, so when you run, sini I, okay, when you run, you get Emil, refness. Okay, with the white space. Kalau you tak ada white space ni, what will happen? Dia akan combine kan? Jadi satu. So that's why you need to put white space plus. Okay. Or if ataupun if you pass only one argument, one value here, so dia akan error lah, tak sama because they ask, the function asks two arguments and then you must supply two value here. Okay. Alright, if you try to call with one or three argument, you get an error. Example here, okay, tadi itulah expect two argument and then you only give only one, right? So arbitrary arguments or args. Okay, if you do not know how many argument that will be passed into your function, add a star before the parameter name in the function definition. This way, the function will receive a tuple of argument and can access the items accordingly. If the number of argument is unknown, add a star before the parameter's name. Example here, def my function, you put star kids. You don't know how many kids. Okay, so print the youngest child is plus kid 2. Okay, so you have here my function, you have Emil, Tobias, Linus. Okay, and then they say the youngest child, index number 2. So it will print Linus. Okay, 0 is Emil, 1 is Tobias, and Linus is number 2. Arbitrary arguments are often shortened to arg in Python documentation. Okay, remember you need to put star if you don't know number of parameter. So keyword arguments, you can also send argument with the key equal to value syntax. This way, the order of the argument does not matter. Okay, def my function child 3, child 2, child 1. Print the youngest child is child 3. So you can put like here, my function child 1 is Emil, child 2 is Tobias, child 3 is Linus. Okay, kalau order dia tak sama pun tak apa. You still can find which one is the match. Okay, so child youngest is Linus. So the phrase keyword argument are often shortened to KW arg. Okay, in Python documentation. So arbitrary keyword argument, star keyword KW argument arg. If you don't know how many keyword argument that will be passed into your function, you have to put 2 asterisk. Tadi satu kan? Okay, kalau argumentnya satu, kalau keyword argument you have to put 2. Before the parameter name in the function definition. This way, the function will receive a dictionary of argument and can accept them accordingly. If the number of keyword argument is unknown, add a double asterisk, okay, star before the parameter name. Example here, def my function, double asterisk, double star kid, print his last name is kid and also the argument is last name, L name. So my function, F name, Tobias last name, refness. Okay, so when you run, so you get his last name is refness. So arbitrary keyword argument are often shortened to KWARG, okay, in Python documentation. Okay, default parameter value. Okay, example here. The following example showed how to use a default parameter value if we call the function without argument, it use the default value. Okay, example here you have def my function country equal to Norway, print I am from plus country. So my function Sweden, my function India, my function empty, there's no argument, and my function Brazil. So when you run, so they will give the third one is Norway by default because you are not spelled out what is the argument you want to send. So dia ambil yang default is Norway. Okay. You can send any data types of argument to a function. You can send string, number, list, or dictionary, and etc. And it will be treated as the same data type inside the function. Okay, if you send a list as an argument, it will still be a list when it reach the function. The example here you have def my function food. For x in food, print x. So fruits, apple, banana, cherry. The my function, so it will print apple, banana, cherry. Okay. So return values. To let a function return a value, use return statement. Example, you have def my function, return 5 times x. So what is x? So example, you want to print my function, you put x is 3, and then 5, and then 9. So when you run, you get the first one 15, the second one 25, the third one 45. So pass statement. Okay, remember pass statement if you want to create something empty. Function definition cannot be empty, but for some reason, function definition with no content, put the pass statement. Okay, to avoid getting an error. So def my function pass. So yang ni kalau you run, tak adalah error. Okay. Kalau you tak buat, you biar empty. Allah Akbar. Okay, like this one. Akan jadi error. Okay. Okay, recursion. Okay, so recursion, Python also accept function recursion, which means a defined function can call itself. Recursion is a common mathematical and programming concept. It means that a function called itself. This has the benefit of meaning that you can loop through data to reach a result. The developer should be careful with recursion as it can be quite easy to slip into writing a function with never terminates. Okay, dia akan loop, dia tak terminates. Okay, one that use excess amount of memory or processing power. Bila you tak stop kan, dia punya recursive, dia akan jadi banyak memory lah pakai. However, when written correctly, recursion can be a very efficient and mathematically elegant approach to programming. Okay, in this example, tree recursion is a function that we have defined to call itself recurse. Okay, we use k variable as the data which decrement by -1 every time we recurse. The recursion ends when the condition is not greater than 0. Okay, i.e. when it is 0. To a new developer, it takes some time to work out how exactly this works. Best way to find it by testing and modifying it. Okay, you have it here. Def tree recursion k. If k more than 0, so result k plus 3 recursion. Kat sini lah yang akan recurse ni. Okay, k minus 1. So print result. Else result equal to 0, return result. And then print recursion example result. And then you want to test with argument 6. Okay, so when you run, so you get the first one 1, and then 3, 6, 10, 15, and 21. And it stop. Okay, this is the question you need to try one by one to check how actually it's running. Okay, this is recursion. Okay, and that's all for function. Create a function, name my function. So def my function, print hello. So my function. So when you run, you get hello. Okay. Alright, any question, class?
Doktor, yang
Ya.
double star tu dengan satu star tu boleh terangkan balik tak? Sebab tak faham sangat.
Yang double star. Oh, okey. Yang ni sekejap Okey, sini. Okey, sini Arbitrary argument. Okay. Ni kalau you nak you want to find, you ada function tapi you tak tahu berapa banyak parameter yang you nak send. Okay. So dekat sini kan arbitrary argument ni you kena letak star lah kalau you tak tahu. Sebab macam kalau kita tengok contoh ni, dia dekat my function you hantar 3 argument. Emil, Tobias, Linus kan. Tapi dekat you punya function ni, you letak star kit je terus. Okay, so bila you letak star kit, dia boleh jadi berapa banyak lah kit. Dia akan terima dekat my function ni. You nak letak 10 pun boleh. Ni dia letak 3. And then you print the youngest child is kids 2. So 2 ni dia refer pada apa yang you hantar tadi. So 0 is Emil, 1 is Tobias, 2 is Linus. Okay, yang ni faham?
Faham.
Okay, ini faham Ini untuk argument yang kita tak tahu berapa dia punya tu kan. And then keyword argument. Okay, you can send argument with the key equal to value. Okay, sebab ni ada dia macam ini adalah variable, ini adalah value. Itu dah kita panggil keyword argument tu. So bila keyword argument tu you tak tahu juga berapa number of parameters yang you nak hantar tu. So you letak dia kena letak ni lah 2 star ni. Example here. Okay. Example here. You punya keyword ni you letakkan ada F name dengan last name. Okay, you boleh letak banyak-banyak ni sebenarnya ni. Okay, kat sini dia ada 2. Kan dia ada 2 argument. So sekarang ni you letakkan dia punya function double star key. Kalau you tak letak double star, okay, let's see what will happen. If only 1 star. 1 star tu satu argument dia akan error. Sebab apa? Sebab kat sini dia ada ada key argument ni lah, F name ni. Lepas tu ni dia punya value. Selalunya kita hantar value je kan. Ini dia hantar key dengan value. Nampak tak beza?
Nampak.
Okay. Yang tanya tadi faham
Faham.
Alright. Okay. So kat sini kena double star lah. Kalau ada keyword and also argument. Kita panggil macam variable dengan dia punya value lah. Alright. So any more questions? Ini function. Biasalah orang biasa guna function kan untuk mudahkan kerja. Kita create satu function yang kita boleh masuk data apa-apa pun kan. Okay, for easiest kalau kita tak tahu number of argument kita guna star tadi tu lah. Alright. Okay, any more questions? Okay, can we move to the last topic for this week? Okay. Topic number 20. Python class. Class. Classes and object. Okay, classes and object, it shows you that Python is an also object-oriented programming. Okay, Python is an object-oriented programming language. Class, are you ready with the topic 20?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So, Python is an object-oriented programming language. Almost everything in Python is an object. Everything in Python is an object with its properties and methods. A class is like an object constructor or a blueprint for creating object. Create a class. To create a class, use the keyword. You guna start dengan class lah. Java pun sama kan guna class. Betul? Ingat Java tak?
Madam, jawab pakai kelas kat.
Okay. So create a class, name my class with a property name X. Example here you create class my class X equal to 5. Ni you dah create satu lah. Class nama dia my class. Dalam my class ni ada X equal to 5. So create object. So now we can use the class my class to create an object. So create an object name P1 and print value of X. So you put P1 equal to my class. Okay, object ni P1 ni refer to pada my class and print P1 dot X. Okay, sini X dia akan refer pada apa yang ada dalam kelas tu. So kelas tu ada X kan. So print dia akan dapat 5 lah. Okay. Okay, and then the init function. The example above are classes and object in their simplest form and are not really useful in real life application. To understand the meaning of classes, we have to understand the built-in. Okay, this is built-in function, init function. All classes have a function called init function, okay, which is always executed when the class is being initiated. Okay, use the init function to assign value to object properties or other operations that are necessary to do when the object is being created. For example, you have create a class named person. Use init function to assign value for name and age. Okay, so you have class person, def. Okay, you remember to create function you have to put def and then init. So init function dia akan return self, name and also age. Okay, self ni nama objek dia, self.name equal to name, self.age equal to age. Then you create one object P1 equal to person class and then you send John 36. Print P1 name, print P1 age. Okay, and then you run, you get John and 36. Okay. And then the init function is called automatically every time the class is being used to create a new object. So object methods, object can also contain methods. Method in object are functions that belong to the object. Okay, let's create a method in the class, in the person class. Example, insert a function that prints a greeting and execute it on the P1 object. So class person, def init self, name and age. Okay, this is the class person. And then you have def my function self, print hello my name is plus self.name. Okay, ini dia create object object methods. So P1 equal to person, the class, John, 36, the age. So P1 yang akan hantar kat init tu. Then P1 dot my function. So dot my function ni akan keluarkan hello my name. Siapa my name tu kan. So kita run. So you akan dapat hello my name is John. Okay. The self parameter is a reference to the current instance of the class. Okay, baru dia boleh refer. Dia macam parameter, dia macam objek lah dekat dalam person ni. Okay, bila you pergi dekat function lain, you kena call balik. Okay, and it's used to access variable that belongs to the class. Okay, so the self parameter is a reference to the current instance of the class and is used to access variable that belong to the class. If does not have to be named self, you can call it whatever you like. Okay, you tak semestinya guna self. But it has to be the first parameter of any function of the class. Example here, you boleh letak use my word, my silly object and ABC instead of self. Example here, class person, def init, my silly object, comma, name, age. So my silly object dot name, my silly object dot age. Okay, my function, ABC, def my function, my func, and then print hello, my name is ABC dot name. Okay, so when you run, you still can run. Hello, my name is John. Okay, itu self. And then modify object properties. You can modify object properties like this. Set the age of P1 to 40. So P1 dot age equal to 40. Dia letak macam ni je. Nanti dia akan tukar lah. Okay, P1 dot age. Berapa value dia. Dia akan keluarkan 40. Okay, P1.40 bukan ni, tak ada contoh ni. Okay, ini P1.h. Patutnya kita tak nak satu macam ni. Okay. Okay, so P1.h 40. Run. Error. Sekejap kenapa error? 40%. Kelas you dapat tak yang ni? Init object is not callable. Oh, tak boleh, kena buat port failing. P1.h equal to 40. Okay. Run. Dia tak pergi ni. Tak pergi my function. Kita tak pergi. Function. Tak. Okay. Confused. Ada banyak. Right. Kelas you dapat tak ini? P1 to 40. P1 equal to 40. Okay, siapa-siapa dapat this one? Want to change the value tu jadi 40? Ke dekat my function ABC?
Doktor, padam
Ya.
yang hello my age tu.
Ni, padam je. Oh, ini.
Biarkan ABC the age.
Sorry, sebab dia string, tak boleh campur dengan betul, dia string. Thank you very much. Now you dapat 40. Okay, sebab string tak boleh campur dengan integer. Sorry, saya lupa. Okay, thank you very much. Alright, okay, this one. Okay, another one, delete. Kalau you nak delete, so you put del p1.h. So, kat sini yang sama juga. Kita copy. Okay. So delete, you kena ingat delete you kena guna del p1 dot kan. Okay. Ni dah delete lah ni, tak ada lah h ni. Okay. Alright. Delete object. So kalau delete object, delete p1 terus lah. Okay. Pass statement. Okay, class, are you okay with this?
Yes.
Okay. The pass statement. Okay, class definition cannot be empty. Sama macam function, list, tuples, okay, dictionary tu tak boleh ada. Empty, tak ada empty statement lah. Lepas you define, betul tak ada dia punya argument. Tak ada content. So class definition cannot be empty for the some reason. You can have a class with no content. Remember, you kena guna pass statement. Mana-mana pun sama pass statement ni kalau kita tak nak ada content. So here class person and then pass. Then okay, here create a class, name my class. So kat sini bernama apa? Kelas lah Right, any questions? Any question?
No question, madam.
Okay, alright, okay. So nanti saya akan bagi awak notes on exercise on. Okay, so this week saya sebenarnya nak bagi awak ni, tapi saya lupa nak check. Nanti saya bagi notes ni lah ya untuk exercise ni. This is a full program on classification and then text, basic regression. Okay. So
Okay, madam.
okay, I think we are going to learn this one on the next class. Thursday. Boleh? Thursday. Kelas macam ni kelas? You all?
Apa madam?
Kan kelas hari Khamis. Macam mana? Okay? Yang lain okay?
Apa madam? Tak dengar dia madam.
Kelas hari Khamis. Kan kelas awak kan?
Oh, Khamis okey.
Okay, yang lain okay?
Kerja.
Okay, so kita fix je kelas tu hari Khamis boleh?
Boleh.
Boleh. Yang lain okay. Kalau siapa yang tak okay tu bagi tahu tau. You can PM me. I'm okay. Alright. Okay. So, sekejap Any question, class? Saya try you future jap. Tak boleh lah. Tiba-tiba status saya not active dah. Okay, tak apalah. Alright. Okay. So any questions? Kalau tak ada, kita stop. And I see you on Thursday.
Boleh madam.
Boleh,
Okay.
madam.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, madam.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Doktor.
Doktor.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye.